Hi guys, how you doing? It's Adam Wallace, and today I have a very interesting video. It is a Category 3B approach into Malaga's runway 31. I've never done the Category 3B approach in a simulator. I've done a Category 3A, but not a 3B. First of all, you might be thinking, what's the difference between them? Well, within the category approaches, you get three within the within Category 3. You get Category 3, A, B, and C. Category 3B is the approach I'm doing today, and that is when the decision height, as you can see on the radio altimeter here, is at 50. It's either 50 or below, and the runway visual range is at a maximum of 700 feet, which is 200 meters, and a minimum of 50 meters. Anything below 50 meters is classed as a Category 3C, which is something commercial airliners are not allowed to do for safety reasons. But in the meantime, guys, I am very excited to bring you this approach. I'm going to go through how to do it and the procedures involved within it, which is going to make this video very exciting. So I'm just slowing down to 210 using flight level change. And there's a couple of things that you should know. That this is a very high workload approach. You're going to have to do a lot of stuff within a short amount of time. So bear that in mind, guys. This is not an easy approach. But it's very simple. All you've got to do, and I'm going to show you this first because this is, if you want to do this without realistic procedures, this is all you need to do. So you set the ILS, you can see at Malaga, which is 109.900. So you set that in both of the first officer and the captain's nav1 radios. Then once you connect with the ILS, so when you're basically captured the localizer, you put Command A and Command B on, and that is it. That's all you need to do. So that's a quick answer to your question of how do you do a Category 3 approach in a 737. That is it. However, I'm going to go through the full procedure of what an airline pilot would do. So let's go through it. First of all, in a Category 3 approach, it's always the captain who's the pilot flying. The first officer is always the pilot monitoring. Let's get that out of the way. So first of all, we can identify that the localizer is alive. Glideslope's not yet alive, however that is not expected considering the position we are in relation to into the airfield. So I'm just going to do a manual turn now. Turn around. Our altitude looks good. And the whole aircraft is configured. I've already done all this stuff. But we're just going to go through this as if it was well, it's normal. It's a whole normal procedure, so I'm not too sure what I'm rambling at right now. So I'm just going to turn towards the localizer, and hopefully we can connect onto it. First of all, I assume you guys know how to do an ILS approach. That's why I'm talking about this. This is an ILS approach with two autopilots, and obviously the plane completely does the whole thing itself. But I'm doing this video based on the expectation that you already know how to do a standard single channel ILS approach. There's no point in jumping in the deep end, guys. If you don't know how to do a single channel ILS approach, then I would probably learn how to do that first, and I'll put a video out soon of how to do that. So here we are just turning towards, we're at 180, so I'm going to go speed checks flap 1. That's fine. Obviously I'm acting as the pilot flying today. There'd be two roles within this, so the pilot flying, which would be the captain, the first officer, pilot monitoring. There's a diverse range and the differences of what the pilots do. So for example, the pilot flying is going to do a lot more hands-on stuff obviously with the aircraft than the pilot monitoring. Pilot monitoring in a Cat 3 situation typically just verifies mode annunciations and does all the flap levers stuff and all that all that stuff for the captain. So here we're coming in here. I'm going to set to 160, flap 5 speed checks. Everything looking good. Of course, we cannot see shit out of the window. There's 160 meters visibility. So that is just within limits of a Category B ILS approach. So this is as foggy as it gets, really. Within limits, this is as foggy as you'll ever see it. Any, if those 10 feet below would obviously have to divert, as that would be into the Category 3 Charlie category. Okay, so I'm going to start actually talking about the of how to do this approach, because I'm fairly certain that is what you clicked on this video for. So as we can see, we're just coming on to the path. I'm actually going to arm approach right now. I'm going to wait till the till that sets. I've already got the runway heading set in the 2 course windows, as you can see. So far everything's normal, just to a normal IS approach, just exactly the same up until basically since the localizer arms, really. Be any minute now. Okay, there's the localizer armed. Okay, runway heading set 314. And that's 314 set. Now what we've got to do is wait for the glide slope. I'm going to arm, do the dual channel approach. As we can see, that's the difference right there, guys. Instead of one autopilot controlling it, it's now 2. That's the only difference so far. And there's the glide slope. This approach altitude set 4,000 feet. 4,000 feet is set. And our speed's fine just now. I'm going to have a look at the approach page. It'll be 30 flap landing, 140 knots. So that'll be our final approach speed. Plus a 5 knot wind correction, we'll bump up to 145. At this point, the flight attendant, sorry, the pilot monitoring would be verifying that the proper mode and announce stations are displayed, in which they are. Check. That's the radio altimeter alive now. Descending down. Just approaching the 5 nautical mile range, on which we'll put the gear down flap 15. Then we'll do the landing checklist. Let me just readjust the seat here. Everything looking normal so far. Okay, I can take that 5 nautical miles, so gear down, flap 15, landing checks down to flaps. Cabin call. Flight attendants, cease for landing. Engine start switches. Continuous. Air brakes. Armed. Landing gear down 3 green. Flaps setting 30 for landing. Speed setting to 145. Set. Landing checklist complete. Check. Okay, passing 800, radio flares armed. Now we just descend down to the minimums. And that is the approach over. Path 30 speed checks. $500, continue.
400. 300. 200. Plus 100. 100.
Land.
Minimums 40, 30, 20, 10.
Flare. Okay, reverse thrust. Auto brake arm, speed brake deployed. "90 knots, 80 knots, 70, 60. And there we go, guys. That is a Category 3B ILS approach. That is as foggy as it gets. You're not going to get a more foggy landing than that. The feet was 160 meters, pretty much. Not 160 meters, it was 160 feet or meters, can't exactly remember. Visibility in that. So in the meantime, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. If you didn't, I'm not too sure what else I can say. I think that was a fairly interesting video. It's an interesting approach, I'll give you that. But in the meantime, guys, I wish you a fantastic day, and thanks for watching.